Bill Elliott as they head down toward turn one. This is where the cars have really been aggressive. The guys have really been using that bottom apron down there to get a position on guys going into turn one. It's been kind of breathtaking.
Even up here.
Well, if I'd have been up here 2 or 3 years ago watching these guys, I'd have retired then. Drivers have tunnel vision. You basically see what's going on right in front of you, and it's up to the spotters and everybody else to see what's going on around and behind you. And they ain't been telling me the truth.
3 abreast. Elliott caught in the middle now. Marlin fights his way back to the front. Earnhardt is leading that high line around. Mike Skinner right behind him. And then rookie Andy Houston.
And Sterling Marlin's back out front again, guys. That car, that proves one thing. That 125 win was no fluke. It wasn't all about just being in the right place at the right time. He's got a pretty fast hot rod there.
Tony Stewart trying to climb the ladder. He's 19th right now. Pulls alongside Jason Leffler. That's Mark Martin just in front of him.
Tony Stewart has patience written on his dashboard. They made it bigger for the race today. Takes up the whole dashboard today because he is not a patient driver. He's a very aggressive driver.
Marlin just leads Rusty Wallace now on the inside. Wallace has fought his way up into the top 3 in car 2.
Now they got Jeff Burton in that 99 car caught in the middle. Little help from behind, but the outside row and the inside row is the ones that are moving.
That's right, because when you're in the middle like that, the wind's buffing off of all the cars. It really slows you down.
Rusty Wallace has never won a restrictor plate race at Daytona. He has come from 12th on the grid to 2nd and brought Earnhardt back up front with him.
When you're in the middle, as a driver, you're saying, give me a hoe, get me a hoe. I got to get in somewhere. And they're saying there is no hoe. You're going to be 43rd when you finally get in line again. And the thing about it is, Mike, that's it. The driver panics. He's in there. He knows he's losing spots, and he knows it's going to take him forever to work his way back up there. So it takes the crew chief to calm him down.
I can't help but notice the front of the roof here on Earnhardt's car. It's like it's buffeting. It's because Rusty Wallace, the car in front of him, with that roof flap across the roof, or that roof fin, it's putting dirty air, and it's making the air on Earnhardt's car mad. It don't.
Right at the cowl opening, I believe, and that'll make an engine run terrible because it messes up the airflow into the air box that leads to the carburetor.
Now it's Jerry Nadeau pulling the outside train. Out there in lane 2, Jeff Gordon right behind him, and Ricky Craven. Nobody can do anything with Marlin.
He's just sitting there kind of pulling these cats around, and, Dale's figured out he doesn't want to be on the outside. He wants to be on the bottom today because he went way back, about 8th or 9th, but he's worked his way back up there in the top 4 or 5.
Pole sitter Bill Elliott has drifted back to 21st. Dick Berger?
10 different teams changed engines for this race. One of them is Rusty Wallace in the number 2 car. He is coming into this race with an engine that is just barely going to make 500 miles. They did not want to start with an engine that had any miles on it at all. That's how hard they're pressuring to win this event.
These restrictor plate engines, they build them with light parts, light rods, light pistons, small bearings. Friction is a big enemy of a restrictor plate engine. So they try to keep everything as free as they can in the motors, but 500 miles is a real stretch for the parts they've got in these engines.
John Andretti started 30
for the parts they've got in these engines.
John Andretti started 36th up to 13th, the biggest gainer in the field. Here goes Earnhardt to the inside on Wallace.
And he's got some push from behind, so a good chance he's going to get right up on Sterling before they get to the end of the back straightaway.
Nadeau leads briefly in the 25.
There's Gordon with his new engine up there. He had engine failure yesterday afternoon, and there he is right in the front of the pack. So made a good call, changed that thing. He was really lucky.
Jerry Nadeau trying to become the 4th different leader of the Daytona 500 in just 9 laps. Nope. Marlin hangs on to it by inches.
Ever so close.
And why do these guys fight so hard to lead a lap? Because even
in time, he has really got to be careful not to get caught up in cars turning into the pit.
In the wall, Purvis. I think that's Jeff Purvis who bounced off the wall coming off turn number 4.
Caution is out. The caution is out.
And I don't think the leader got it.
29 cars now in that lead draft. And a rookie, Kurt Busch, going for 3rd place there. behind Sterling Marlin. Got pinned in traffic. Earnhardt Jr. moves up to third behind Burton and Marlin wants to lead.
And that Dodge is potent. When he wants to get that thing out front, he just goes up on the outside. He goes down on the inside. He just takes her to the front.
You know what I love as a driver? You're driving down on the inside. You're in that 2 car. You're leading the race, Jay Sauter, and everything's going fine. You think you're in the right place, doing a good job. And all of a sudden, a bunch of cars go by you on the outside.
And you're still wide open.
Say, roll, what?
Whoa, trouble.
Boy,
the
man.
2 car upside down, over and on to Scott Riggs. It's the big one.